Hi, and welcome to P226's channel. This is going to be a video about the Walther PPQ versus the Walther PP9. Sorry, said that wrong. Walther P99. That's one of the things with Walther is that their naming system's a little screwed up in my opinion. Seems like everything's PP this or PP that. And anyway, both of these guns are technically a compact size, or like a Glock 19 or a SIG 228. They're almost identical in size to either one of those actually. The PPQ is the new guy on the block compared to the P99. The P99 I'm pretty sure has been discontinued now, at least for US sales. Get you guys some different views here. I say that because Walther's website no longer lists P99s. I mean, you may be able to get them for a year or two while they clean out their existing stock, but I doubt they're making any more new ones. Okay, let's go with track record on both of these. The Walther P99 has a pretty good track record actually. It's used by several police units in Europe. And apparently 007 as well. Just in case you're a James Bond fan, this is the gun he uses, the P99. And there are several good features about this. Reliability, being the first part of track record, is awesome. Functionality is pretty good too. I mean, it's pretty much a standard double action, single action decocker. If you didn't know it, there's a decocking button there. It's pretty ergonomic, has interchangeable back straps. It has a unique trigger system. I mean, that's one of the other cool things about Walthers is that you can reset them to fire with a very, very short stroke, and you can do it one-handed. The unique trigger system is, it looks like it's in double action, right? It's not. That's a safe action trigger. It just makes it longer before you engage the single action. And then after that it's double action. Okay, it's a little different compared to the PPQ's very Glock-like, sorry, it's not cocked, trigger. Let's double check that too. Even though I did it before the video. Very Glock-like, safe action trigger. I don't consider it really a safe action. This is like a single action only. Okay, caliber. These guns are available in 9mm or 40. I would imagine you could probably convert one to 357 SIG if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't. They're both very accurate, but the sights that come on these guns, both of them have the same sights. There's a lot of air to them. I don't really like that, and I don't like the size of the dots they use, or the fact that they're just painted on there. If I were going to keep the P99, I would definitely put a set of Meprolite night sights on it. Maybe Trigicons, but I'd really prefer the Meps. What else? Oh, there's one interesting thing about these guns. Let me take these apart for you. Okay. This is where it gets really interesting for me, because this is a PPQ slide. This is a P99 frame. It's fully functional. And the reverse is true as well. And these guns, the P99 is a 40 cal, and the PPQ I have is a 9mm. I don't know if I would really want to fire these like this, but you know, considering everything seems to work, well, you give it a shot at least. I'd definitely contact Walther before I did that, though. Mainly because, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to me that you can do that. They are virtually the same gun, though. I mean, they wouldn't snap together like that if they weren't. Basically, the PPQ is a replacement for the P99 as a whole, and specifically the P99 Quick Action, which always had a Glock style trigger. Most of the differences are ergonomic upgrades. You can see the difference in the handles. The PPQ is very ergonomic, in my opinion. The P99 is only slightly ergonomic. I mean, this is ergonomic compared to a Glock, but compared to the Walther PPQ, no, not even close. This is so much better. Not to mention left and right slide releases. Both of them have the Walther style ambidextrous mag release, which I actually happen to really like. I prefer it to the button, strangely enough. I didn't think I would, because I don't really like the H&K release, but this is totally different than the H&K release. There's no way to confuse it for anything else. There's no way you'd think it was a button. On the early P99s, they were kind of that way. They were basically like a HK release copy. They've kind of gone on and done their own thing and extended that magazine release out, making it where you can hit it with your index finger. It's a lot better, in my opinion. Similarities. They both pretty much shoot the same, and that has to do with the fact that they have the same trigger, basically. I mean, this in single action is the same as this trigger. It feels exactly the same, identical. Which is why I'm calling this a single action only, without a hammer. It's a hammerless single action only. Of course, I think that's what Glock technically is as well. But one interesting thing on that note is that, to my knowledge, this is about the only double action, single action striker fired pistol in the world. And the decocker is just cool. It's that button right there in the slide. And it's not like it gets pushed all the time. So I had one friend of mine who was concerned that it would get pushed all the time because it's part of the slide. It's not. It's not an issue. Okay. Price-wise, these guns are about the same. I paid, I think, $530 for this one brand new and $500 for that one used. So, not that big of a difference, really. And Walthers really hold their value, kind of like SIGs. I mean, a used Walther, HK, or SIG is going to go for probably 90 or 95% of what it went for brand new. Maybe a little less if you get lucky, but not usually. People know what they're worth and they're a high quality gun, so they go for quite a bit of money. Let's see what else. Size and weight, they're basically identical. Variations on the P99, there's quite a few. On the PPQ, there's only 2 right now to my knowledge. 3 if you count the Navy edition, but I don't think they're importing any of those. They only have the first edition, whatever, PPQs, and the regular production, like what I have here, PPQ. The P99, on the other hand, has had several versions. This is a Gen 2, I think is what they call it. Yeah, second generation P99. It has the new magazine release, different styled slide a little bit. The frame really changed a lot. A lot of the first gens were green. You can look up pictures as to what the differences are. I'm not going to go into detail on that. It's not necessary. There aren't that many of them. I did see one in a pawn shop the other day and they wanted $500 for it, and I just can't see spending that on a gun that's less ergonomic than the one that I'm thinking of selling. Okay. Capacity, let's talk about that. Both of these guns have the same capacity, use the same magazines. I think the PPQ does require the latest generation of P99 mag. You can't just pick up any of them and throw them in there, but in 9mm it's 15 rounds, in 40 it's 12 rounds. It's not too sucky. It's about the same as, you know, similarly sized Glocks and SIGs. And really, as long as it's 15 rounds or more in 9mm, I don't have an issue. If it's less than 15 rounds and only 9mm, I start having some issues because you can get other calibers. Anyway, it comes right down to it, which one of these would I pick personally? That's really a tough call. I wish they made the PPQ with the P99 trigger system, as I really love the decocker and the trigger. I just really hate the ergonomics compared to that, and the fact that the slide release isn't on both sides. And really, that's one of the awesome things about this gun, is its slide release. It's big, it's perfect. Not a thing I would change about it. Here. Very, very easy to actuate. I mean, I don't know if any of you out there have ever held a Glock with the standard slide release. They're usually fairly difficult to actuate, in my opinion, especially if you have the mag in it. This has none of those issues because it's so big, but yet it's not like it's too big and in the way. It's just big enough you can actually get a hold of it. I love it. With all that being said, I think I personally picked the PPQ. It's just a big improvement over the P99. I do wish it would go double action, single action. I know I've said that once already, but that's really one of my big things for it. And actually, I'm thinking about buying a 9mm P99 and just start swapping out parts. That would take a lot of work, though, to really get what I would want, because I'd want the same PPQ slide with a decocker built into it. And that means hiring somebody with a mill to do work on it that Walther didn't do. And basically install one of these in there and install a back plate and a indicator in there, which if you take those apart, I'm not going to do it again, but it's the same firing pin, just they shaved the indicator off the back. So I don't know why they didn't just leave the indicator. I actually like it. Anyway, in my opinion, PPQ is clearly the winner. It's just very ergonomic. That, and oh, I almost forgot, the light rail. Multiple positions, 1913 style. This is kind of like a Glock. You got the one position, and it's really designed to fit their own brand of light. That kind of sucks. Just does. Companies are kind of starting to get the idea that people are not going to buy a Glock or Walther branded light for $300 when they could go buy a Streamlight or a Surefire or something like that for, I don't know, Streamlight about 120 bucks, Surefire about 250 bucks. Why would you buy a Glock or Walther branded light that is inferior for more money? I'm not actually sure how much the Glock light goes for. I think it is actually affordable, but the Walther, I know for a fact, is like $300. Just stupid. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps some of you that are trying to decide between these two guns. You're curious to which one you want. I'm going to do individual reviews on these two. I'll probably post this video first, though, so I don't see this video being made a lot. A lot of people who are getting into the PPQ don't have access to a P99. I just happened to find one, and I figured I'd at least try it out and do a video on it. Anyway, don't waste your time. It's not worth it. Just get the PPQ. Thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you like this video. Have a nice day.